So I'm just going to do a quick demo really of just cleaning off the anode. And one of the features of the Silvertron is that, I don't know if you can see that in this light, you might not be able to, but that little button there says suspend, and what that allows you to do is if I press that, it'll cut the power to the electrodes. You can see that is really reducing nicely now. What I'm gonna do, I know I've only got 15 minutes to go, but I just thought I'd quickly do this. You might be able to see on the cathode, well, you might not, but it builds up silver oxide. And obviously what you want to do to keep this as clear as possible, you just want to try and keep all of the, you don't want it turbid, you want a nice clear solution when it's finished, as clear as possible really. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to quickly suspend this run, and what that does is goes into suspend mode, and then you just have stop or resume. So basically there's now no silver oxide being produced, but what that allows me to do is basically retain the settings so that I keep my accurate ppm. So all I'm going to quickly do here, I hope you can see this, is I'm just going to lift that slightly, carefully out of the silver cell, and I'm just going to wipe, you can see that silver oxide possibly on the tip of the cathode, very sort of dark grey, like the end of a match really. I'm just going to wipe that off there so that we reduce that, and you can see it just going back to the silver underneath there. You can see that the anode is, that's terrible light, really sorry about that, but you can see how that's gone black. That too is just the electrolysis process. So that's literally all I'm going to do. I'm just going to drop that back into the cell very gently, and then I'm going to hit resume. Volts jumps back up to 11.5, and my current jumps back up to 10 milliamps, which is where we set it at the beginning. We've only got about a quarter of an hour to go, so that's just a really helpful feature, especially when you're doing high ppm batches like 320, when you have to do this process. If you're doing a litre of 320, even at 15 milliamps, the highest setting on here is 15 milliamps, goes up from 1 through to 15. I tend to do 40 ppm at 10 milliamps. I tend to do 320 at 15, just because obviously the time calculation. But even at 15 milliamps, it takes 5.5 hours to do a batch of 320. So you can appreciate that obviously that needs cleaning quite a bit more. I tend to do it about every 30 minutes. So there's a bit more investment in time on a 320 batch, but that's just a really helpful feature. And because it's still counting away, you just like freeze that, cut the power, clean the cathode, drop it back in, hit resume, and it's like you never came out of it. So again, really useful feature, which makes another reason why this is the best silver generator in the world. Okay, speak to you guys in about 12 minutes, but you can see that that's really reducing nicely now. That is absolutely perfect, actually. I'm so happy about that. First run as well. So, but yeah, really pleased. Temperature currently probably about 40, 39, there we go. So tend not to let it get above 40. It just seems to help with not being so turbid, which is just cloudiness. Just keep an eye on that. Just doesn't seem to need the heat really. Means that reduction is not happening so fast. More heat just means it's going to reduce a bit faster, because heat does help with reduction. But that's it. So see you in a minute.